find the other one. I'll tell you all about it. It's been a nightmare of a day. Not that this isn't tremendously worthwhile. The other one will be back tomorrow. I'll get it sorted. I'll tell you all about it. In the meantime,
Mr. George Roger Boaty, Mr. George Roger Boaty, Mr. George Roger Boaty. Look at his face and remember his name.
Remember his name, you buggers.
Mr. George Roger, Mr. George Roger Boaty. Mr. George Roger Boaty is his name.
Don't ever forget his name in Scunthorpe, I can tell you that.
Mr. George Roger Boaty, Mr. George Roger Boaty, Mr. George Roger Boaty. Oh, it's Mr. George Roger Boaty.
This never stops making me laugh.
Roger Boaty.
It's funny anyway, but just the idea that somebody would give over their precious time to making this.
George Roger Boaty.
And that is just the perfect end. Oh, Simon, you are a legend, young man. Well, good evening, everybody. Good morning, everybody. And thank you for joining me for another symposium here at an incredibly windy bottom. My goodness me, it's living up to its name tonight. It is blowing a hoolie out there. You wouldn't believe it. Or maybe you would. I don't know. I can't be held responsible for your belief systems, and I refuse to be. Perhaps you believe in something that I don't believe in. Or perhaps you don't believe in something that I do. And that's fine. Vive la différence. Les Anglais sont terminés. D'accord, alors, on y va. Salut. Anyway, yes, enough of all of that nonsense. My goodness gracious me. Well, here we are, my loves. Isn't this fabulous? And there are some of you, and that's great. And Jimmy Quinn, straight in there with a thing, a coloured thing. It's a super sticker, and I am incredibly grateful. I could not be more grateful for the crumbs that fall to me. I know that I'm no Captain Mustard. I know that I'm no Project Nigel. And I can't expect the magnificent windfalls that we've all just witnessed him achieving on his rather good life. Good one tonight, Captain, I thought. Jolly well done. I'm sad that I missed the first one where you fucked everything up again. But the bit of the second one that I caught up with was absolutely fantabulous. And you certainly earned your corn tonight, didn't you, young man? 17 new channel members, approximately £450 in donations. Excellent. And I, for one, am delighted because I'm going to make you pay for lunch again next week. And I might have the large. But there we are. I didn't want to do that. Well, now then, I've got some bits to tell you, but it's not all about me, is it, wittering on at you? I'm going to get well and truly involved in you people tonight, and I want to hear about you all. I want to hear about your day. I want to hear about what's going on with you. The good, the bad, the fears, the excitements. I want it all. I've been on a little bit of a roller coaster of emotion in a kind of slightly detached way, although that sounds awful to say. But my friend, who I'm jolly fond of, and as indeed is Trace, who of course operates The Greenwood, one of our community channels. But our mutual chum is kind of, well, I mean, to be brutally honest with you, I thought he was coughing it. And then there was an update from his good lady, which said that he'd sort of turned the corner and recovered, and he was off the ventilator, and I thought, oh God, thank God for that. I wasn't ready. But now he's taken another turn for the worse. So, you know, oh bless him. God, what a fatuous thing to say. I was going to say it's so hard, and of course it's not. I had a fabulous day yesterday. I'm sitting here, I'm drinking wine, I'm breathing relatively unaided. It's bloody hard for him, is the point. It's bloody hard for him. Underscore. Oh, bless your heart. Oh, dear me, taking pity on me. Well, young man, when you and I go on a road trip, I'm paying for lunch. Won't be an expensive lunch, but I will pay for lunch, or I'll bring it with me. It's not far off till we get the old stove out and start doing some Momo cookouts and whatnot. Anyway, enough of all of that. Let's see who is amongst us. It's quite a big moment, isn't it? We are leaving, we've just left January behind, and we are marching into February, the shortest day of the month. Oh dear God almighty. I mean, it's not difficult. People don't ask much of you, sunshine. And, you know, if you could just manage to get days and months in the right kind of order, that would be wonderful. People are giving up their time to watch you, and you talk about February being the shortest day of the month. I mean, what's the matter with you? You hopeless, wrinkled old arse. I do, of course, mean that February is the shortest month of the year, which means that before we know it, it will be St. David's Day, which is, of course, one of the best days of the year. Now then, Matt is with us, fabulous. Roger Boaty's here. What? Trace is here. Jimmy Quinn is here. Morning to you, sir. Black Lines is here. KKC. Fantastic. Mustard is the foreplay. Yeah, huge thanks to Captain Mustard for his live stream tonight and keeping us all entertained. And I actually don't tell him because I don't want to pay the hairy old goat any compliments. But I quite enjoy his live streams in a kind of comforting, avuncular, in the backgroundy type of way. I find it enormously comforting. You know, it doesn't get me sexually excited, I won't lie to you, but I honestly don't think that is his intent. It's a very, very comforting thing to have enveloped around you, and I find it's a splendid thing to have on when you're doing the washing up, and I did exactly that during part of it. And the only issue with that is if you feel inspired to somehow type a comment apropos of nothing, then you might find that you have soapy fingers, and soapy fingers, I mean, they work terribly well on some things, as do soapy breasts, now that I've come to think about it. And oh yeah, the soapy finger. Shared baths. Do you enjoy a shared bath? Is it a thing for you? Or do you actually resent the fact that you haven't got the bath to yourself? Especially if you've been at the tap end. And when you have a shared bath, do you do face to face? Or do you do the position that you assume when you're on the bobsleigh at Blackpool Pleasure Beach? I.e., one person, normally the larger of the two, not necessarily the man, it's not for me to generalise, but the larger person would be at the rear of the bath with legs akimbo, and the other personage dually occupying said bath, would be in between said legs, perhaps reclining in a relaxed and yet perky manner. Thus, if the person happens to be of the female persuasion, slightly raising her breasts to a more I can't think of the word. I was going to say approachable, and that's wrong. And then I went for grabbable, and that's equally wrong. But kind of presenting them more in approachable. I'll go with approachable. Why am I talking about shared baths? I can't actually remember now. No, I've got absolutely no idea. I'm a bit all in a tiz-whiz tonight, my lovelies. Yesterday kind of caught up with me a bit, but this morning, how keen was I to jump out of bed and crack on with things? Because I had this splendid plan. Do you know the first thing I did this morning? I won't lie, well, technically not the first thing. I probably had a scratch here and there. But even before I went for my morning wee, which is normally one of my bigger wees, because I've got a bladder that can still make it through the night. Admittedly, I don't go to bed until late, but I do get my 6, 7 or 8 hours. And I managed to do it uninterrupted by my bladder. But this morning, even before my wee, I toddled across in a state of some excitement to the window and looked outside so that I could gaze upon wet leg, Fräulein wet leg, von Titty biscuits, because yesterday was great and I genuinely did fall in love with that car, and I wanted to look out of the window at it, and so I did. And then I had a wee, and then instead of going back to snoozes, I came downstairs and I made coffee, and I cracked on with my day. And my day was supposed to include editing the collection video for Wet Leg and creating content for tomorrow's video, which was also supposed to include Wet Leg, and it kind of didn't happen. Somehow I managed to spend 7 hours downloading, editing and uploading and not getting any content at all for tomorrow, except that I kind of did, because I took Stigbert, who has been having flat batteryitis. I thought I'll take him to work and give him a spin, because I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, why didn't you take New Car? Why didn't you take Wet Leg? Why not? You know, she's new, she's exciting. Why didn't you do it? And, you know, frankly, you're being a bit accusatory. And I would ask you calmly and kindly and rationally to just back off a little. And I will explain. Today, by which of course I mean yesterday, is the 30th of January. And the Phil, the lovely chap who was the previous owner of Wet Leg before my good self, or our good selves, as Wet Leg is of course a community car. Anyway, he did the change of ownership thing, which technically means that yesterday, Friday, it's not Saturday today. What day is it? Right, anyway, the point is that today Wet Leg was technically not taxed. And quite obviously, I'm not going to tax a card on the 30th of January and pay for a complete month. I'm going to tax it like tonight at midnight, or, well, that's gone. Or more likely tomorrow morning from the 1st of February. So I decided to take Stigbert to work, and I'm jolly glad I did. And I recorded bits of it, and quite frankly, they're not going to make a very good video. But I'm going to put them out anyway, because it's something, and that will sucker me, which is a nice word involving two C's in very quick succession. And I think succession is another nice word that involves two C's in very quick succession. So that was a success, which is another word that contains two C's in quick succession. And I am totally unable to think of another one, so we'll abandon that as a line of talking. Where did I get to? Yes, my bowel is back to normal, and it's very kind of you, Black Lions, to take an interest in my doings of that nature. I think we're back on an even keel. Strange toilet syndrome is a bugger when you have to be out and about for an entire evening throttled body. I quite like that. Anyway, Liz is with us. Simon says boing. Honey, oh yeah. I wouldn't get excited about the bangles. Now, my friend, it was either Cooper or Davis, said when we were talking about the bangles and specifically which order you do them in, he said, well, there's only one bangable bangle, and you know, I'd kind of go along with that. So I'd get excited by a bangle rather than the bangles. Don't start me on Royston Vasey, I wouldn't dream of it. Looking forward to watching the video after this. No spoilers, please. That's GPS. OMG! Is that the collection video, mate? Well, I hope you enjoy it. It's they've been largely positive, but there have been a couple of slightly negative points raised. Well, one slightly negative and one kind of intermediate. But as a video, I'm quite happy with it, to be honest. I'm quite pleased with it, and there you are. Oh, Trace. Oh, you're getting a bit near the. Oh dear me. I'm not reading that out, Trace, but that is admirable filth. Absolutely splendid. Well done, you. Susanna Hoffs is an absolute, well, no argument there. And there's some good evenings. There's a retracted message. Oh dear, somebody with arthritis. Oh, Anita Rogerbottom is here. And giving old George some instructions there. Oh, sorry, you could have had the wee, Trace. There wasn't a welcome dance. Mustard confirms that he is here. Don't wet yourself. Tie a knot in it. Is it going to be a welcome dance by Bottom Waggle? No. Oh, great video, Boaty, says John Hodson. Thank you. That wasn't here. That was a YouTube comment that's just flashed onto my screen, and I'm very grateful for it. Actually, when you make, you know, inexpert videos on dubious subject matter that may or may not be of interest, you wouldn't believe how much it means when somebody just posts a simple, you know, great video. I enjoyed that. Even just a like, it's tremendously encouraging because, and I'm sure I'm not alone in this, you do question yourself. You think, you know, I'm putting this up and maybe not expecting people to watch it, but, you know, putting it there so that they could. And is it really worthwhile? And, you know, let's address the elephant in the room. Most of mine isn't, and I do it anyway because I'm like that. The reason you didn't get your opening dance music was because when I'd spent hours and 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 hours downloading all of the content off 3 or 4 different devices, getting it all together on this device, and there was a shed load. and then editing it all and finally getting the video together. There was so much on there that when I went to download the video from the edit suite onto the device so that I can then upload it onto YouTube, the device was too full, and I couldn't delete the content from yesterday because I'd used little bits of all of it. And if I deleted it, it would also delete it from the edit suite because it's not been saved onto hard drive or whatever these things have yet. So I had to delete all sorts of other stuff. I had to delete Twitter. I had to delete a couple of other apps, and I had to delete all of my photos and videos that I try and keep so they're there for easy access. And that included the opening dance music. Now, I've got it somewhere in the iCloud on files, and I'll be able to turn it into a video again. But I did have to delete it so I could finally get this pissing video down. And then I was late setting off for work because I was trying to upload it to YouTube before I went to work, because work Wi-Fi is dodgy, or the restaurant might be busy and I might not be able to do it. I mean, it all turned out all right in the end. Although I had to do a real rush job on throwing together a thumbnail and scribbling down a description actually in the restaurant. But I did get there on time because I went in Stigba and I drove at, frankly, illegal speeds. And I enjoyed that very much, to be fair. So, you know, every cloud and all that. Let's whiz through these comments. I'm absolutely over the moon that that you've, taken the time, made the effort, sacrificed your sleep to be here with me to see in February, the month that begins with an F. And I want to acknowledge that by at least reading your comments. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. Simone is with us. Excuse me. Chaz Brown is with us. Trace wants us all to know that she can't tie a knot in her lady garden. Right, okay. Stephen S. Paul is here. Liz is here again. Oh, Simone, you had another bad day, my lovely. Boaty, says Trace, will be hitting 2K subscribers this week by the looks of it. And the video that went up tonight has done rather well in terms of subscribers as well. And I had a random meeting at Sainsbury's this evening that Matt knows all about, as does anybody else who's in the Facebook group, and that earned me another couple. So yeah, we're moving in the right direction to hit 2,000 before too long. Don't know if it'll be this week, don't know if it'll be next week. I suppose it depends what content I put out to some extent. I'm hoping that, as I mentioned before, collection videos tend to do well. Now, I could have done a bland one, right? Which I knew would have appealed a bit more generally and would probably do better numbers and might even attract more subs. But I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I wanted to do it my way and our way and include stuff that I know is not going to appeal to other people. I knew it wouldn't. The phone calls. If you've watched the video, and that's not a spoiler if you've not watched it, because you knew I was doing that. But the phone calls, I knew that they were going to be meaningless and potentially even annoying to some people who are not in a scrotum, and I damn well did it anyway, because our little community, us, this scrotum, is more important to me than the numbers, and I genuinely mean that. I desperately wanted to hit 1,000. I made no secret of that. The numbers now I don't actually give too much of a toss about. Um, not the overall numbers. I cared about the numbers that watch a live stream. I cared about the numbers that interact with me or interact with each other in the live streams and in the Facebook group. And when it comes to socials and stuff, I cared about the numbers then. But I don't massively care about the overall number of subscribers. It's flattering, of course, and obviously to some extent the channel gets judged on that, but I don't really care about that either. I'm not setting out to be a Hubnut or to be a James or to be a furious driving Matt. Mass appeal doesn't really do it for me, because what would I get personally from that? I'd get an ego boost, and I suppose I'd get money in the bank, but I wouldn't get this. I wouldn't get what we've got. That's why I do these live streams, because it's you and me time, and that's way more meaningful than putting a video out that 30,000 people might happen to hit like, but I haven't got a connection with them. It's just I put something out there and people like it. It's a bit like, I don't know, if I sent a meal out from the restaurant to somebody who I didn't know and had never met, and they ticked a button that said that they liked the meal, well, that would be all right. But it's not the same as serving the meal to somebody in the restaurant, putting it on the table in front of them, having a chat with them, imagining what it would be like to nuzzle their neck just there where it meets the shoulder, and all of that sort of thing, So, but yeah, I mean, 2000 is going to be, it's going to be lovely. It is a milestone, and I will be very pleased. What was the rest of that message? God, I think. What are the celebration plans? Dunno. Haven't got any celebration plans for 2000. Should I celebrate? What do you suggest? Well, I mean, what I'd like would be for us to meet up and have lunch somewhere, and say, oh, you got 2000, yeah, well done, who gives a shit, and then just have a laugh. All right. I'm properly in the mood for some Boaty nonsense, says Mustard. Well, you weren't. You said you weren't going to watch. You said you were going to go off to bed. No, you didn't. You said you were going to go off and do some relaxing. So, that could mean anything. I almost asked you a question when you asked in the group, and then I didn't. But I'll ask it now. What is your personal best for the greatest number of successful masturbatory attempts in a 12-hour period? And anybody else can feel free to join in on that one. Oh dear, Simone is having a bad one. She needs this week to F off. Oh dear. How many free lunches do you need? Just one a week. I'm not a greedy man. One a week would be perfectly acceptable. Let's see. Oh, thank you for the Steve mention. We're all reading. Trace, are you going through it like I am? I genuinely prepared myself for the worst. I was genuinely just waiting for that thing to pop up on Facebook where, one morning you wake up, you look and you think, oh shit, you poor man. And then didn't get that. We got the message, it said he's off the ventilator, and I thought, oh, so good. And then today's message, it's, there we are. Right, let's catch up with Simone. Okay, I got my tyre to the repair shop. Went to find parking only to be confronted by contactless machines only. I don't and won't use lazy contactless payments, says Simone, quite forcibly. So I got back in the car and left. Right. Well, you have clear principles and you are adhering to them. And adhering is a nice word which contains the letter H, but you wouldn't know. And there's something to be said for words that contain the letter H and you wouldn't know. And interestingly, the word H, as in the letter, but the word describing the letter, first one of the live stream, welcome. The word is A-I-T-C-H. So the word H contains an H, but you wouldn't know. And isn't that fabulous? Let's just take a moment to reflect on the joy and majesty of that situation. Cheers. Pinch Punch, first of the month, and indeed, White Rabbits. Jimmy Quinn says, my birthday is on St. David's Day. Well, that makes you a very blessed person indeed, Jimmy. Great news, says Matt, about the Smalley MGR fleet mystery being solved. Well done, Boaty. Thank you. What happened was, I nipped out to Sainsbury's for some, as is my wont, as I often do. And I'm going to tell you openly and frankly what I went for. I went for wine, butter, asparagus for the restaurant, and some scratch cards for the inveterate gamblers that are my chefs. And as I was going into the car park, ahead of me was a custard yellow Streetwise, which parked as a Rover should, right? Quite late at night, but it didn't park near to the doors. Oh no, it parked in its own space away from the doors, which I like to see. That shows somebody that cares about their car and recognizes the possibility of it being dinged by an opening door or a wayward trolley. And I thought, I'm going to park next to that car, but not right next to it, one space apart, thereby respecting their space, but also showing I'm interested in you because you are a kindred spirit. Remember, I was in my ZT190, and as I clambered out of the car, the two nice ladies clambered out also. And I said, cool car. Not quite as Sean Connery-ish as that, but I did say cool car. And a chat ensued, and they discovered that I was a YouTuber that they'd never heard of, and I discovered that they were part of the clan that owned the fleet, which underscore has frequently witnessed. And underscore, Matt, it's just the tip of the iceberg. They've got a unit jammed full of things. ZT260s, monogrammed stuff, 2 MG Maestro turbos, a car which I would dearly love to own. Oh God, Land Rovers, every Rover and MG that you can name, scores of ZRs, ZSs, ZTs, and they were right on our doorstep and we didn't know about them, but now we do. And they've subbed to the channel and they've joined the Facebook group, and it's a welcome addition to our little fold. And they're properly one of us. They're not all about shows or perfection. They're about keeping as many of the blessed things on the road legal, MOT'd and enjoyed and safe from the scrapyard as possible. And we're all on board with that, aren't we? Now then, let's catch up with some comments. Oh right, I'm not reading that. I shared a shower, says Simone, but not a bath. Yeah. I think you should get the old Mayfair or Fiesta books out. There are going to be more, whatever I call them, Boaty's bedtime stories, at least one a week. I went to use the loo and came back to find I've lost the plot with Boaty talking about shared baths and bobsleighs. That's not losing the plot. If you share a bath, you're going to assume the bobsleigh position, aren't you? I could never fully get on board with, if I share a bath, then I want to be in the rearward position, reclined, legs akimbo, and I would like the lady to be podged in between, leaning backwards into me in a soapy way, although it is annoying when their wet hair flops onto your skin. It's all cold and annoying, but that is mitigated by the breasts, which are quite naturally raised to a more, I want to say approachable again. I can't think of the word that I want to say. What is the correct word for a pair of breasts that are kind of being proffered to you more so than would be normal? Somebody help me out. Converse shoes are great for driving cars with limited foot room around the pedals. Oh, okay. I think we need, no you don't. No, you don't need that. I've got a double-sized shower, says Jimmy Quinn. Plenty of room. Well, form an orderly queue. Don't freeze your wine. Are we taking the F to Istanbul next week, asks Mustard. I should come in wet legs, shouldn't I? Well, that kind of depends. Is it, assuming it's just you and me, then yeah, why not? Let's go out for a whiz. I'd like you to come out in it. You can even drive it, Mustard, and I will film you driving it. And yeah, I definitely need some Istanbul in my life after missing out this week. Although, as reasons for missing out on things that you love go, yesterday was a jolly good reason. This human contact talk is all very strange, brings back very vague memories. We've all been there. You two in the MGF would look like Ronnie and Reggie. Well, one of them was gay. Backs in, not me. Or if not gay, then at least he helped out when they were busy. Or not so busy. Oh, with the roof down as well. Yeah, totally. Yeah, totally. Right, Mustard and I will pledge here and now that we will go to Istanbul next Monday with the roof down. Christ, it's probably going to snow now, isn't it? Oh, there's a name I haven't seen for a while. Buccaneer Dreamliner. A splendid combination of the name of Mustard and I's caravan and a rather splendid airliner. Now then. Oh. Ich glaube, dein neuer Rollsche braucht sein Hydrogas, dich aufzupumpen. Okay. My guess, the new car needs the hydrogas pumping up is my best guess at that one. Cuddle Group, what? I'll be Big Spoon, what? Oh, hidden comment, splendid. Fuck's sake, thank you, Boaty, for the OMG, as per. You're more than welcome, Trace. Oh, and Liz says, stop scaring the cats by yelling OMG. I made a comment that even Boaty couldn't read out. Yeah, you bloody did. I'm not reading that one. Keep them coming for my amusement and the amusement of those who sight read them if they don't get to hear me say them. It's only oh, another one held for review. Boaty had to delete his porn. I haven't got any porn. I think we've kind of done this before. I don't do porn. It doesn't appeal to me. No, it really doesn't. I find it kind of embarrassing. Either embarrassing or a word that begins with, oh no, it doesn't begin with D. Kind of belittling. No, there is a word that begins with D. Deem. and I can't think of that. Christ, I'm getting old. There are so many words that should be there and they're not. Anyway, it's a word like belittling, but it begins with degrading. That's the chap. That's the fellow I was after. And I don't like it, particularly. And also, I don't like dirty talk. You know, people that like dirty talk when they're getting up to stuff. I can't do it. I find it embarrassing, and I don't like hearing it. It does nothing for me. Maybe I haven't got the normal perversions. I slept with a younger woman quite recently, and she started calling me daddy, and in what she thought was, you know, a sexy way. I found it absolutely disgusting, and it properly put me off. I had to tell her to stop. Anyway, yeah, so I didn't have to delete my porn. I haven't got any. I've made my own porn, but that's different. I wonder if that's still out there somewhere. I made quite a lot of films with filming equipment that I used to have back in the day before smartphones, because I used to film the talent competitions that I used to run. And I also used to film some stuff in the old Ford Poster. And I had a van stolen with about 20 grand's worth of sound and light gear on it. And it also had all of my filming kit in it, which also had all of my films with some talent competition stuff, some cabaret stuff, and a lot of me having sex. And, you know, I wonder what happened to that. You know, might be on some really bad old porn site somewhere. Anyway. Sleep's overrated. You'll sleep when you're dead. Oh, right, yes. I think over 28 February. Right, it does indeed, John Maruzzi. There appears to be a small fire on the right of the screen. Oh, did I not get it quite out of view? How very wrong of me. Something on fire to the right there. Oh, this is. This is. Simone apologises to Mustard, but this is. I don't know how I'd take this. Sorry, Project Nigel, I missed your live. You know, that's absolutely fine. I'm really sorry I missed your live. I forgot it was happening. I'm really sorry I missed your live. I was at work. I'm really sorry I missed your live. I was giving birth. I'm really sorry I missed your live. I had to rescue a child from drowning. But no. Where's it gone? Sorry, Project Nigel, I missed your live. I was watching a movie. In other words, sorry I didn't watch you live, but I found something better to do. Which I find hilarious. And that's, I do something very similar myself. If somebody invites me to something that I really don't want to go to, then my two stock answers are, oh, I really wish I could, but I don't want to. Or, oh, I'm most awfully sorry, but I'm afraid I'm watching television that night. And you've just kind of done my second one there, Simone, and I think that is fabulous. You have only 14 days to catch me up. Yeah, not going to happen. Not going to happen. I'm within 2,000 though, and that is something. Ahoy there, saucy Boaty, says the equally saucy Lurpak A380, a large aircraft. I suffered through hearing myself on the video. The rest of it was great. Don't freeze your wine. I'll check the wine in a minute. Does it take around 4 to 5 hours to freeze wine? I mean, I use the curry freezer, which is not a harsh freezer. It's not like this one. And that'll freeze it in 45 minutes. certainly no more than an hour, no problem at all. I put this wine in at what time? I put this wine in at 11:15, and it is now not even 1 o'clock. Frozen, my loves. Oh, Tish and Tosh. Oh, I need to put some food on. I'm going to have emergency food tonight. I can't have a proper meal. I'm going to have chicken and chips, which means that I'm not making chips at this time of night. I'm going to have to put some emergency oven chips in, and I'm going to need to do that quite shortly. But I am going to catch up with these comments. Brilliant point, thank you. Can't remember what it was. Just a 5-minute video for your 2K celebrations. Something insane. I can do insane. You could celebrate by buying me lunch. Well, I could, but technically, we've still got a lunch in the kitty, haven't we, from Liz? If it's just the two of us, we've certainly got 9/10 of a lunch. I did the maths. I don't begrudge you a lunch, my dear chap. You're my BFF, my best flipping friend, and you know that I would never begrudge you a lunch. I would make the effort to make it for you with my own 2 hands. 2 courses last time as well. And I would serve it to you with deep affection, and I would wash up after you. But if there's a free lunch in the kitty, I'm taking it, especially after you earned about £147 million in your live stream. Fucking hell. I slug my guts out night in, night out, and I'm not complaining. I do it for the love. You pop up once a week, do a couple of hours of saying hello to people, and everybody throws their wallets at you. God, it must be fabulous to be popular. Obviously, I will never know. But I do hang around with somebody who is popular. That's why I hang out with Mustard, hoping that some of it will rub off on me. Some woman will come along and throw herself at him, hawking her pearly, and he will say, as he would, because Mustard is a very decent man. I'll give him that. And he would say, I'm sorry, I'm flattered, but I'm a happily married family man. And maybe one of these hurling themselves women might take a look at me and think, well, Jesus, okay, well, I've come all of this way, so, I don't know, give me a couple of bottles of wine and I'll close my eyes and have a go. That's the hope. You never know. Hope springs eternal in the human breast. What's that a quote from? That's a competition question. First correct answer wins a French fancy. Simone is off to sleep shortly. Simon's off to sleep. Is he? Project Nigel 6. I don't know. No idea. Oh, everybody's saying good night. Are we all going? Okay. All right. Well, it is that kind of time, I suppose. Let's stretch it out to the hour. Let's at least do the hour. I'll bugger off at 1 o'clock, my lovelies. Oh, I need to get my chips on, don't I? One of my, oh dear. Oh, Black Lines, sympathies there. I'm not sure what's harder, knowing or not knowing. Well, what's harder is being in that position. But very best wishes to you and your friend. Masturbatory attempts, tell you later. The missus is off to London. Keep us updated, KKC. Steve, yeah, keep clicking into his profile and refreshing. The last update came when I was live streaming. Yeah, I'm not even looking on his profile trace. I'm just looking at Sean. You know, the news is coming from Sean at the moment. Northern schools teach the non-existent H sound in the letter H. Well, they shouldn't. Well, you know, that's Northerners for you. I mean, they're wonderful people underneath, and they have some very endearing, if slightly odd habits. But you know, who can argue with last of the summer wine? Mustard, we've got to go to Home Firth this year, preferably with somebody else to do the triumvirate. But I want us to go to Home Firth and have a. I kind of did a homage with a video last year that I called Last of the Summer Boaty, and all I did was drive to and through Home Firth. But we need to go there for lunch one day, ideally to Sid's Cafe, which of course was what's her name's cafe in the doings. I've driven by the Smalley MGR fleet a few times, but only once seen anyone with them. Bizarrely, it was the Streetwise Custard Missile. We'll get to know them now, won't we? I'm drinking a nice bottle of Chateauneuf du Pape. It's lovely. Well, yeah, it is, and it's bloody expensive. So I need to go there, says Mustard. Where? I'm all out. Oh, I'm all out of sync with these comments. I shall, and hopefully Taylor. Right. Oh yeah, absolutely, Matt. Yeah, wouldn't be the same without you, mate. You come along. God, are we going right back to my maiden birth? That seems so long ago now. Question for everyone, says Liz. How many MGRs do we own between us? Good question. Oh, that's where you need to go, Mustard. Yeah, well, we'll all go. We'll all go. I shall charm the nice ladies and blag a visit for all of us. Breasts being proffered, agreeable. You do realise perky breasts go south as they get older. South, more like the Antarctic, says Liz. And Trace says, in the bath and water they float. Oh, Lord above. Okay, KKC's off. All right, we're now talking. Can we have more Boaty's midnight stories? Perhaps toned down a bit so you don't get haunted by the ghost of Mary Whitehouse. There are going to be more bedtime stories. That is something that I'm going to do because I know it winds you lot up and it amuses me, and that's more than enough for me. And yes, I do know that breasts go south. But you know, there we are. These things happen. I mean, that's just you ladies, but we men are similarly afflicted. Now, you might not know this, but when you get older, chaps, you will develop the pendulous scrotum. Hasn't happened to me yet, but my God, it happened to my grandfather and my father, and I'm not looking forward to it happening to me. I'm desperately going to search for some scrotum tightening exercise. I don't want a pendulous scrotum. My plums get compromised getting in and out of a Rover 45 with my youthful, vigorous scrotum. Imagine how I'd fare with a pendulous scrotum that hung down like Big Ben's balls, or whatever the things are at the end of his clangers. Oh, that's reminded me of a what's it song, Kevin Bloody Wilson song. My grandfather's cut. No, I can't sing that. I'll be turned off. I can't. Oh right, okay. He doesn't watch porn because he may feel inadequate. I don't need porn to make me feel inadequate. I have mirrors. Oh, one health review, splendid. Oh yeah, me too, Trace. That's just weird. Oh, another one health review, spiffing. Oh right, yes. Oh God, we are getting in amongst it now, aren't we? Boaty's babes want to see you dance. I haven't got the music. I'll have it tomorrow. I promise you I'll have it tomorrow. I have explained. Oh, oh, Simone, genius. Oh, bless her. Sorry I missed your live. I was eating cheese whilst having a poo and watching porn. I've just been pinged, and that, Matt, is actually a really good idea. You'll find out what Matt has just pinged me, but it's a good idea, and I'm going to nick that. But Simone, I love that comment. Boaty's babes and Mustard's muffs. Mustard doesn't have a Boaty's unpaid intern though. True, very true. This is my reward. This is my reward for my labours and efforts. I don't need money. It's vulgar. I have love and support and companionship, and that's worth any number of channel memberships and super thanks. Although I wouldn't mind those too. You can buy wine with them and petrol and things, but no, seriously, I haven't got any complaints, and I'm really, really grateful for any support that I get. And I was delighted that a load of people showed Mustard some love, because, and I'll say this, right? Mustard slogged his guts out for 2 years, getting the content out there day in, day out. And he didn't bother, he didn't bother with all of this extra monetization stuff and doing lives and doing super chats and channel memberships. And I like to think that it was because he's just not that way inclined. For him, it's about getting his content out there and taking pleasure in people enjoying it. It's not that, it's because he couldn't be asked to work out how to do it. And as soon as I told him how to do it and told him he should do it, he bloody well did, and now he's coining it. But I'm delighted for him, because God knows he's earned it. And it's not like he's living the absolute life of luxury. And quite honestly, he's creating content that you all love and I love, rather than doing a job which would pay better and probably give him a lot more peace of mind, but not as much enjoyment. So he's fighting for the the ultimate goal, I suppose, which is being able to do this stuff that we love and making a living from it, or making a decent part of a living. And so when he starts getting those bits and pieces coming his way, I'm bloody delighted for him. Good God, still way over 20 watching at this time. Goodness me. We like very different women, says Mustard. I only like women with a bit of meat. That's absolutely correct. Mustard would only be interested in you ladies if you turned up with a pork chop or a few pounds of mince or a nice steak, or if you, I don't know, shoveled kebab meat into every crevice that you could possibly imagine, hoping that he would nibble them all out. Yes, let's do it soon. What? I'm out of sync with the comments again. Sex, no. If you're talking about home first or something, then yeah, absolutely. I'm half northern, says Trace, and my dad, the northerner from a word I can't pronounce, never ever said the non-existent H. Anita Rogerbottom, I went last year, went to Sid's Cafe and did the old-fashioned bus tour. Well, you can tell us where we need to go, and even come with us. You can be Nora Batty. Did that years and years and years ago. Visit home first and the cafe, etc., 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 etc. Oh dear me, was living in Hadfield at the time. Don't worry, us Boaty's babes will support your balls as you get older. Thank you, Lerpack A380. Your support in more ways than one is very much appreciated. I'm genuinely dreading the pendulous scrotum. The pendulous scrotum and the first grey pubic hair. I mean, the rest of me falling apart, I can just about cope with. But the pendulous scrotum and the first grey pubic hair, even though nobody will ever see them again, even though they will be hidden for view, I will know that they're there. And dreading that. Oh dear. My father always had a ridiculously pendulum scrotum. Literally from the earliest memory. Imagine my surprise when I discovered this isn't actually normal for men. Oh dear, dear, dear. Oh God, the things we talk about. Right. Oh, thank you, Matt. You shall. I need to give you a hug now. It'll have to be a virtual one. Save it for Monday. Hug my exhaust with your welder. And that is a euphemism. No, that's not a euphemism. I mean, that's not a euphemism. Right, okay. It is 3 minutes past 1. We're pretty much caught up, and I think we will leave it at that. We need some music to play. Oh, I didn't put my chips in. Well, I've turned the oven on. That's a start, isn't it? What should we play out with, my lovelies? Let's see. What have I got on the old doings? Good night, by the way. Good night, good night, good night. Oh, I know what we'll play out to, if I can find it. Now then. It should be here somewhere. Here we go. Here we go, my lovelies. So, thank you so much for joining me tonight. Thank you to each and every one of, good God, there's still 19 of you watching. My thyroid. Right, okay. But yeah, honestly, thank you so much, guys. Really, really appreciate it. I'll see you tomorrow night for another small but imperfectly formed live stream direct from Windy Bum. I need to get my chips in. I'm going to play you out with this. So have a safe and peaceful night. Oh, balls, it's got to download first. Oh, well, chat amongst your bloody self. Well, this is professional, isn't it? Christ on a bike. Oh, 607. Oh, God, it's got loads to do as well. Well, say an extra good night and, I don't know, come up with an idea for 2,000 subscriber celebrations, or what should I eat at Istanbul, and should we still put the roof down on Fraulein Wet Leg von Titty Biscuits if it's raining? Oh, come on. I want to get my chips in. We're on 2.7, guys, and we need 3.7 of these things, whatever they are. 3, 3.1, 3.2. 3.3, 3.4, 3.5. We're nearly there, and here we go.
I'm almost tempted to play that again. Good night, my loves. Catch you tomorrow. Have a great day. Stay safe, stay warm. Take care.